Okay everyone, this is Jockeys from Straight Razor Place again. Here I am in my shave den. You can see I just have a ton of shaving crap. It takes up most of the sink. Anyway, we're going to be looking over here today. And here are my strops. As you can see, I just kind of have them hanging on a little towel holder up there. Yeah. And I've found that to be a convenient way to manage them when I'm using them. So let's... Okay, whoop. Alright, now, as you recall, this is the Dovo stainless steel 5/8 round point I was using from before. It's still got some tape on it, I need to get that off. What I'm going to be doing now, you saw me honing the razor. Now I'm going to be stropping it. It's already sharp enough to shave with. I just want to bring it into final readiness so it's very, very smooth against my face. Now, as you can see here, this is my big redneck homemade strop. This is a smaller strop, linen on one side, leather on the other. As you can see, I have just freshly pasted this. So we're going to explore that as well. This green stuff on here is chromium oxide. I got mine from Chris Al on the forum. And you just put it on with a little bit of oil, some honing oil is what I used, and let it dry overnight. So this is the linen, just basically rough cloth. And I'm going to start with that. You got to keep the strop nice and tight. You need a good amount of tension. I mean, you're not trying to pull it off the door, but tight enough that it's very flat. You're not going to push the razor hard. I know I'm always saying light touch, but it is important. So same as honing, but you'll notice I'm going backwards. That is, I'm leading with the spine, whichever direction that I go. So I'm just going to do a few passes on linen to prepare the edge, warm it up a little bit. Again, you'll notice I'm doing an X pattern because this strop is real skinny, but even on the wider strop, you'll notice that I do a similar pattern. Okay. This right here is not actually sharpening the razor at all. It's just sort of straightening it out and aligning the edge, which isn't a big deal since I haven't shaved with this since I honed it, but normally this would be an important step. Also helps warm the razor blade up a little bit. Okay, now, the chromium oxide. You've got to be real light with this stuff. This will just really eat your razor up if you do it wrong. If the strop is loose, the angle will be wrong, so it needs to be nice and tight. Light pressure, not a lot of passes. Remember, this thing goes, despite being such a fine grit, it actually will remove metal very quickly. So, just real light here. Okay, that was 15 laps, not a whole lot, and I am going to clean my razor up so I don't get anything on my other strop. I don't want grit on that strop, I want to keep it very smooth. Still got a very good edge, you can feel it's a little bit refined. Okay, now for the big one. I'm going to pull it nice and tight. Even though this is such a wide strop, I'm going to be doing the same thing. Lead with the spine, follow an X pattern. I've got quite a bit of room, so the X pattern is not really as noticeable. Again, very light. I'm just smoothing the edge out, making it nice and even. You really, there's some different opinions on how many times you need to do this. I say more reps with a lighter touch is always better. So that's what I'm doing here. Some people really go overboard. They'll do like 100 laps. I don't think that's necessary. I do think, generally speaking, you need at least 30 or 40 laps to get it going, just depending on the shape of your razor and how aggressive your strop is or how smooth it is. Mine has actually been sanded with 400 grit wet dry sandpaper to give it kind of a nubuck finish. It's very velvety feeling. That's the kind of strop I prefer. It gives a good draw. You can really get a lot more feedback in your hand from what it's doing to the edge that way. Again, that's just a matter of personal preference. Some people like the horsehide strops that are just really, really slick, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. This is just sort of what I prefer. Now I'm going kind of fast, but when you're starting out, you don't want to do this. I've just been doing this forever, and it's totally mindless. But anyway, just nice and light. You're not pushing hard at all. Keep the strop, good and taut. Well, let's see how we're doing. Now remember, this isn't making the razor sharper. It's merely making the razor smoother. Yeah. There we go. Just pops the hair right off. Just absolutely nothing to it. And I'm going to look like an idiot with a bald patch on my arm. But when I shave later on today, I will have a fantastic shave. Once again, this has been Jockeys from Straight Razor Place, and I hope you've learned something.